Roger. All right, folks, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Just landed, man, literally about a half an hour ago after doing a TAC form flight with who just left, and then Matthew in the back seat. Haven't done TAC form in a while, but it was good. We do more before 10 a.m. than most people do all day, right? Looks like we got a little bit of a continuation of this short squeeze relief rally like we've talked about. Violent short squeezes can last a couple days. Slow short squeezes 3 to 4 days, but it really does seem like the market is looking for direction. I did have some problems getting in the GoToWebinar, GoToTraining, whatever it's called. So I just looked in the Afterburner thread. It looks like some folks were having some issues. So I don't think it was on your end. I think it was on GoToTraining's end. One more time, we got to bring this up. We really have to keep doing this kind of we are here, you are here type of thing. We're kind of stuck in this area, right? You know, how do you define normal in today's? How do you define normal nowadays? Like, what is return to normal? Raging inflation, potential war, elections, OPEC, sticking it to Joe Biden. I mean, I don't even. Can we remember what normal was? You know, geez, normal, you know, pre-2008, pre-Occupy Wall Street, pre-George Bush deciding, you know, the free market isn't the free market and we have to save capitalism. It's just, I don't know what I don't know what normal is anymore. There isn't any normal, right? We have a Federal Reserve and central banks who prop up markets, and I don't know. It's weird. Here's what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is just thought of this. Do we even are we ever going to get to this? Right? I mean, when you got the UN stepping in to say, "Hey, please stop, you know, raising interest rates. You're hurting poor countries." It's really interesting where we are right now. So, all right, admin items. You got Bart tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for Tomcat charts. He's all over this stuff, folks, with his levels, and you know he predicted this bounce up to here. So if you're not in Tomcat charts, you need to be. So 10 a.m. tomorrow morning is Tomcat charts with Bart, because he's Neo in the Matrix. He can see all this stuff. I'm not that good with that stuff. I do my poor man's charting, but Bart is pretty good at that. Make sure you check out Slider, Shoot, and Love all over the room. He debriefs his 5-MEO experience times 2, which is really it's really interesting, man. It's really, you know, I have to step back every once in a while. Tomorrow morning at noon in the podcast, I'm having Justin Lepre. He runs Heroic Path to Light, which is a place in Austin, going to be a big ranch, horses and stuff like that for veterans, where we're going to do entheogenic retreats, right, as a sacrament. So it's horrible to say this because I'm fairly certain we fought a war and our country is founded on religious freedom, and the government can't tell you what to do with your religion. But years ago, we had to pass the Religious Freedom Act, because last time I checked, American Indians and other folks who were here first before the United States, you know, Uncle Sam came in and said, you can't use these substances that you've been using for thousands of years in your religious ceremonies. And they're like, what? You know, come again? So the Religious Freedom Act, you know, established, you know, if you want to use some materials for your, you know, religion, who are we to say we can't? Now, obviously within reason. We do human sacrifices. All right, I get it. But, you know, using plant medicine, here's what I'm rambling about. He's going to be one of the first kind of really public places in the United States that's doing this treatment above radar. Why outside of Austin? Well, he lives there, but also Austin's a little bit more progressive, right? So the politicians, the Austin DA's like, hey man, you're good type of thing. We're not going to bust in with our boots and do an FBI raid. Now, that's assuming Uncle Sam's not going to bust in with his boots, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish with Justin is going to be on our podcast tomorrow. He's going to debrief us on his healing journey. He's a Marine. I believe he was a MARSOC guy. A lot of trauma, PTSD. Became really good friends with Medal of Honor recipient, who hopefully we're going to try and get partnered up with the No Fallen Heroes project. So listen to Spider's podcast. And I think that's about it. We have a brief next Thursday at 1 p.m. I'm going to open up the doors to the Max Afterburner Lifetime group. We haven't done that in a while. And brief people on what our investment clubs are all about. So if you're not in one of these right now, I strongly recommend you attend. If you are, wait till Wednesday and let me see if there's room, because we only can take 200 in this room. So if you're not in the Max Afterburner Lifetime group or the Hunters, click on that link to register for the brief. And I think that's about it. Heading to San Francisco this weekend. We will do solo Amazon Monday. As normal, Tuesday won't be any briefs. We'll do a joint brief on Wednesday. I'm flying back from San Francisco on Tuesday. Blue Angels, going to see them again. And then my buddy Intake flies the lead solo for the Patriot Jet team. The Patriot Jet team flies the jet that I just flew. And then we should be good to go. First Panthers game is next week against the Flyers. Hockey starting again. Love hockey. All right. We're good. Tom, Bart has been all over these charts, man. He's been spot on with everything. So I love this. Yeah, Jeff, we'll talk about that today. We got a solid. This rally might have legs here, man. We have a solid MACD crossing down here. These bear market rallies, which is exactly, how do you know it's a bear market rally? You look at the left side of a chart. You do not know, nobody knows if you're in a bear market rally until it's over with, right? Because if this kept going out of the bear market, it's not a bear market rally. Plus, what happened at the end of this bear market rally? We went lower than we were before. So how do you declare something a bear market rally? It already happened. So here's what I'm getting at. Big MACD crossing back here, big bear market rally. Big bear market MACD crossing here. This thing might have legs, folks. So, you know, the market can remain irrational longer than you can stay solvent, and trade the market you have, not the one you want. I'm going to give you a quick strategic brief because this is AR, but it's also the weekly debrief. Nothing's changed. Everything's bad, right? How many times do we have to remind each other or tell people that the stock market is not the economy? This stock market is not the economy. The stock market is not what's going on in the world. If the stock market was the economy and what's going on in the world, we'd be imploding right now. A month before the election, guess what's happening? I just went and filled it. The gas prices are going through the roof. My buddy Ferg, you guys know who Ferg is, technical advisor to Maverick. He's paying over $6 in a gallon in California, man. It is bad. Okay. U.S. moves aircraft carrier strike group near Korea after North missile launches and the South Korean one failed. Oh, good, Ponch. I'll take a look at that. What an embarrassment. Donald Trump. Hey, Prime Minister Abe. God rest Prime Minister Abe's soul. See that assassination of that guy? The most anti-gun country on the face of the planet. The guy builds a gun and kills former Prime Minister Abe. That died, no pun intended, that died pretty quickly, didn't it, in our media? The guy built his own gun. More gun control. The guy built one. More gun control. A guy grabbed a dump truck in Nice, France, and plowed and killed 85, 90 people with a dump truck. Don't get me started. Anyway, Donald Trump saying, hey, Abe, shoot the damn missile down. You got Aegis cruisers. We gave them, well, you bought them or we gave them to you. We don't want to try and shoot this thing down in case it doesn't work. Oh, we're not using our weapons because we're afraid they won't work. This guy's lighting off bottle rockets like it's the 4th of July. South Korea tried to light one off the other day and it failed. That's not good. Wow, $7 close to San Fran. Holy shit. Folks, I'm in Florida, obviously. Val Demings, this lady, she's just awful. She keeps running these anti-abortion ads, pro-abortion ads. I saw whatever poll was the other day, Hispanics, right? The Democrats like, let's let 2 million Hispanics into this country because they'll vote for us. Turns out Hispanics ain't necessarily Democrats. They're usually Catholic or Christian. They believe in family. They usually are not super pro-abortion. But anyway, this Hispanic poll, like, it wasn't even on the list of voters cares abortion. It's like the economy, inflation, jobs, national security. But this is, anyway, let's get back on path here. This is interesting that we have missile failures, we can't shoot shit down, and we got a battle group moving towards North Korea. And then, of course, we switch right over to the Middle East and to Vladimir Putin. Who would have thunk that this guy, who Joe Biden says is a human piece of shit, he's a terrorist, he's a pariah, he's a murderer, I will never work with him. Mr. President, hop on Air Force One and go beg this guy, give him a fist pump. Don't shake his. This is how ridiculous our government is and just the world is. There was a debate on whether or not the president should shake his hand or not. Well, you're going to beg the guy for oil. How about we do a fist bump? Do you know how many meetings staffers had on this? You know how many PowerPoint desktop briefs they had? How will a handshake poll? This is where we are, folks. So he gets a fist bump by Joe Biden. Joe Biden begs for him to open the spigots, and he's like, yeah, probably not. And then he's in bed with this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden and Democrats are choosing sides. And it's not the left side of the Gulf, it's the right. We're giving billions back to Iran right now for releasing some father, son, whatever that hostage shit was. Obama did it, Biden's doing it. So Saudi Arabia, to their credit, like, oh, this is great. They already saw what happened in Afghanistan. We're not a good friend. We leave, right? So Saudi Arabia's like, well, screw this, man. We need a nuke. We need to protect ourselves from Iran. Let's start cozying up to Russia. I'm shocked. This is my shocked face. I'm shocked that they're not pumping more oil. Not even not pumping, they are cutting. Anyway, so it's I'd be laughing if it wasn't so serious. Yeah, nobody fucks with Biden's. Yeah, okay. So a production cut instead of an increase. Gas is going through the roof, man. Here we go. Bad. We got bad news right in front of the election. Or we don't have bad news. I mean, consumers have bad news, but Democrats have really bad news right in front of the election. Okay, and you want to talk? We talked about impeachment yesterday. Why should you impeach Joe Biden? Well, we'll take a look at the screen. By October, the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve will shrink to a 40-year low. What is the mission objective of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve? It's to be a reserve in times of national crisis. What's the national crisis? The election. So that's an impeachable offense, folks. Not only are we almost completely out of ammo, our U.S. military just is out of ammunition because we're killing people in Ukraine. Now we're out of oil. We're out of oil and we're out of ammo. I said this yesterday or Tuesday. We are in a Tom Clancy novel. Russia is running us out of weapons and oil. Well, we'll fix that. We'll blow up the Nord Stream pipeline. I mean, we won't, so we can have plausible deniability, but we'll, We'll deny it. We had nothing to do with it. Doesn't mean we didn't know about it. Unbelievable, guys. Out of oil. We're out of airspeed and ideas. We're out of weapons. We're out of oil. Good times. Talked about this the other day. Don't need to beat a dead horse. But again, in this country today, if you question the media narrative, if you question the admin's narrative, you're a traitor. You're a Putin sympathizer and you're awful. No, you're not. You actually just kind of use your brain. Russians are retreating. That's not necessarily good. We've debriefed this week. There's a difference between tactical victories and a strategic victory. We had massive tactical victories in Vietnam. We were about to win, and then we lost, right? There's a difference between tactical and strategic victories. We're losing, or we will lose if Vladimir Putin decides to use a nuke. We debriefed that the Belag Road, however the hell you say that, the submarine's gone. His nuclear trains have departed their stations. He said last week that he's not bluffing. And of course, if he does something, we're all going to sit here. We won't. Everybody else is going to sit here shocked like, oh my God, we can't believe this happened. The guy told us, he demonstrated all this shit was happening. We thought that was a bluff. He said he wasn't bluffing. Yeah, but we thought that was the bluff. Okay. You guys are awesome. So there's Anthony Blinken saying, hey, the pipeline blowing up is great opportunity for us. I mean, literally, guys, do they just not? It's like zero situational awareness. Hey, that pipeline blew up. That's good news for us. Who did it? They did it. That's really bad news for them. And they had like an on-off switch. Well, they did it to make us look like we did it. Okay. And of course, our media and idiots in our country agree. Impossible. Zelensky doesn't. He signs a decree. I hereby sign this decree. There will not be peace in our time. I'm going to fight to the death. You're not going to fight to the death, dude. All your 18, 19, 20-year-old kids are going to fight to the death. So here we are, guys. Stock market is going up as inflation's raging. OPEC is cutting production. War in Europe, potential nuclear war. Everything is great. So everything can be great. What do I mean by that? I'm having problems logging into E-Trade as well. I don't know. Maybe, you know what we really haven't seen either are those cyber attacks as promised, right? We were kind of yet, right? Yet. It really does feel like this 3750 is this Mason-Dixon line. Man, what a power move up to 3,800 yesterday. Wow. I'm sitting on my hands, man. Who was it, Jeff or somebody over in the Max Afterburner group? You know, this is the only winning move is not to play sometimes, right? I'm done. You know, these bear market rallies can be violent and they can be sustained. So when in doubt, sit on your hands. We already talked about OPEC. ADP, we already briefed for the week. The big thing tomorrow, folks, is obviously non-farm payroll, right? Unemployment claim, yeah. Natural gas, who cares? So what are we looking at here? Unemployment rate, we're looking for it to stay flat. We're looking for non-farm payroll to come in and average hourly earnings to stay flat. We've got a Fed lieutenant, we've got wholesale, and consumer credit. Those aren't big. These are the big ones. Right now, folks, it's so hard to, it really is a coin flip at this point. You get a blowout jobs number, I think the market implodes. Blowout jobs number, good news. The jobs market is strong. We don't want it to be strong. Jerome Powell won't tell you that. Joe Biden won't tell you that. They can't get in front of a press conference and say, we need people to lose their jobs. You can't. But that's what they need, right? Jerome Powell doesn't want to sit here and say the R word like we want a recession. They kind of need one at this point. We all saw the last earnings period where Facebook, Amazon, Google, big companies, Zuckerberg, 10,000 of you are, we're not hiring any more engineers, and a lot of you shouldn't be here. Go find someplace else to work. Whoa. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't like coin flips. I'm starting to keep some powder dry. I had a couple winning trades this week, a couple losing trades. I don't like that ratio. I don't like I don't like I like victory. So I'm gonna hang. What's the VIX doing? I haven't looked at it yet today. VIX. Still, man, still nothing. Let me let's drop a 20 in here. Really range bound on the VIX, man. With everything going on, the VIX just hasn't decided to freak the hell out. This is a little bit of I'm deciding to freak the hell out. We looked yesterday at a weekly options trade with a VXX bull put spread. It's hanging the 19 and a half, 19, right? We are right there. If we get a blowout jobs number tomorrow, I'm inclined, or not even blowout. If it comes in line, look at the trend is going in the right direction. Obviously not a right direction if you lose your job, but again, Jerome needs a little. He said this, he said it in Jerome Powell speak, but he doesn't want the jobs market to crack. But it's too good. Things are too good right now. Isn't it creepy? I mean, only the Fed could get us into the scenario where raging inflation, high employment. It's literally a perfect storm. We are living in I've never clearly 3 decades of doing this. I've never seen this. Nobody's ever seen this. Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, who's older than the Wright brothers. Nobody's seen this type of conditions before, right? So tomorrow is going to be big for the jobs market. Earnings, we'll care about, but it really is the non-farm payroll and the employment rate, right? So is this going up, going down? So anyway. Yeah, exactly, Karen. When the Fed chief uses the word pain in a press conference, man. Well, when the Fed chief uses the word pain in a press conference, there's the result, right? It's almost, back in July when I said done bullish, and that happened because Jerome Powell said he didn't want a taper tantrum, right? And then in here is where you had the XO, Lael Brainerd. I don't know where they came up with her first name, but she said, we don't want to overshoot. The Fed doesn't want to overshoot. They also dog whistle, right? The market's listening to these people, man. Don't want to taper tantrum. Don't want to overshoot. Pain. So I got to be honest with you. This is sad to say, but you have to trade the market you have, not the one you want. One of the reasons we're kind of in this big vol. What happens when Jerome speaks? We get clarity. Not usually, but here's what I'm saying. We get direction. We haven't heard something from them in a while, at least him. Either a reiteration of, I'm not shitting you, I'm going to do this, or, let's kind of take a look or take a pause. What happened the other day? The bank of the Reserve Bank of Australia, our buddy Graham down there. Well, it's a little, they came in a little less than expected. We had a rip your face off rally around the world. We're literally hanging on central bank moves. And we all laughed this week when the UN came out and said, oh, please stop. What? The United Nations, man. The United Nations Human Rights Commission. Wait, Libya ran that one time and North Korea ran it the other time. It's just so stupid. So anyway, yeah, exactly. The word pain is insane. I really got offended at that. I didn't do this. You didn't do it. I certainly didn't vote Democrat. I didn't vote for a Fed chief to print did you see the number yesterday? Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We are over $30 trillion in debt. We are officially a banana republic. So at this, I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if one day some politician wakes up, the president just goes, that has to be zero, or we don't care about it. I've actually heard that a lot recently from Democrats. Like, at this point, we just keep going because there's you just don't care about it. I don't understand how that works, folks. I get how they work. Yeah, we just don't care about those numbers. So either one day something horrific happens, which I guess you got to kind of bet on it not happening. We're not going to let horror happen. Then we zero everything out. If we zero everything out, those U.S. Treasuries and in God we trust, that all is destroyed. We're not the world's reserve currency. The dollar, literally, it isn't worth it today, but it's not worth the paper it's printed on. But yesterday, 31, I think it was, even a trillion at this point. I'm like, I can't remember the exact number, if it's 30 or 31 trillion. Matter. Wow. You got it. Modern monetary theory, man. It's just absolutely insane. Wow, cheating. That's a good, I like that. 1 million seconds is 12 days of vacation. 1 billion seconds is 30 years of career. A trillion seconds is 30,000 years, longer than human civilization. Oh my God, man. Now 30 trillion. So we can't even, you can't even fathom that. You can't even, wow. Unbelievable. All right. Anyway, folks, so tomorrow the Fed, I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm going to keep, I said yesterday, I'm keeping this one up for a long time. Despite 6-7 trillion, whatever it is, in stimulus and spending, we're down here on the S&P 500. That's not good. Meta not opening some offices, closing some offices. Menlo Park, I'm going to be out there this weekend. Amazon halting its corporate hiring. Now, Karen said they're already doing their seasonal hiring. Folks, this is always a metric, right? Every year, whether it's the mall or UPS or Amazon, they all got to hire for the holidays. Doesn't mean it's going to be super good, but they do. All right, let's get into AR, folks. So Ponch and I are hopefully jumping on a phone call with this guy, Lieutenant General Steele. So Ponch is on a commission with him or whatever it's called, the veterans. This is coming, folks. So the VA, this is why Ponch and I are going to talk to General Steele. I'm going to try and get on this committee because he's recommending, where is it down here, his recommendations. Recommendations from General Steele. This was to a House brief last week. Established within 3 months a formal VA advisory committee on psychedelic-assisted therapy. Within 12 months, an FDA-approved pilot access program for MDMA and psilocybin therapy. Fund and implement within 12 months. MDMA, psilocybin, ibogaine, 5-MeO-DMT. So up here, so those are his action items. Up here, folks, he gets into a brief about what we're doing. So, and he's a Marine, guys. He's not some Army or Air Force guy. He's like this Lieutenant General Steele. That's a 3-star. Lieutenant General is 3 stars. What's it? Veterans Mental Health Leadership Coalition. That's what it is. Over the last several years, a small group of VMHLC members have funded and supported over 1,000 veterans to receive psychedelic-assisted therapy outside our nation's borders. Read that again slowly. Veterans receive therapy outside our nation's borders. That's the country we live in. $50 billion to Ukraine, $500 billion in student loan write-offs. You, with your PTSD and your fucked up trauma, go to Mexico on your own dime. I can't afford that. A charity or No Fallen Heroes will fund it. Unbelievable. I have been fortunate to work alongside an astonishing number of veterans whose lives were not only saved from suicide by receiving this treatment, but who found a renewed sense of purpose, meaning, and connection to themselves, their families, and their communities. This ain't whiz, this is a lieutenant general, United States Marine Corps, retired. Wow. However, we believe it is morally unacceptable that veterans who exhausted all available options here at home should be forced to seek out this form of treatment in other countries. Fucking duh. Dan Crenshaw, who's a rhino, needs to get off his ass. He's pushing a little harder. It took him way too long. I met Dan Crenshaw 4th of Julys ago. JT and I bought a VIP thing at one of his fundraisers. Between us ladies, don't ask Susie if she's a Dan Crenshaw fan. It's kind of a dick. You don't be a dick to my wife. He's not, I don't, maybe he had an off day. I'll give him that. Did not get a warm fuzzy from Dan Crenshaw. And as the day went on and he started hooted up a little bit more, it didn't get better. I'm not a Dan Crenshaw fan. I will give him a mulligan and I'm back to neutral. How about that? I'll believe the best in people. Anyway, it took him way too long to get here. Guys in his communities have been doing, in his community, the SEAL community, have been doing this for 5 years. We have aviators, an aviator at least, Jay, what's his name? Slider's friend. He needs to step his ass up too. I get that he's a freshman and doesn't want to kind of, this is how you create ripples. I don't want to stick my head up. You guys know me. If I was a congressman right now, who the fuck, your constituents voted for you, man. If they don't like you, they'll get rid of you. Stand up, man. Dudes and ladies are dying. After last week, waking up in El Paso, getting gas, going, what, are you fucking kidding me? 44 veterans a day kill themselves? Our t-shirts are wrong. Well, we haven't been counting deaths by overdose. Are you shitting me? So you just count like a dude blowing his head off. That's a suicide to you? You fucking idiot. I don't want to get emotional. I was devastated. I knew it too. Because there are other folks out there who shall remain nameless. 16. Why are you saying 16? Because we want to be different from your 22. And that's or 17. That's the official number. Dude, that's from 2019. I'm going to quote the movie Aliens. I don't know if you've been keeping up on current events, man, but we just got our asses kicked. We just got our asses kicked in Afghanistan and COVID. The VA hospitals turned into Civil War hospitals. You got COVID? We'll cut your head off. It's a fucking nightmare for the past 3 years. You're going to say 17? You're going to agree with the VA's numbers? I got problems with people in the space. And they haven't publicly come out. I've changed officially No Fallen Heroes number to 44. Why? Let me ask you guys, let me take a quick poll. Who do you believe? Duke University and the University of Alabama or the fucking VA? Somebody, am I wrong to agree with Duke and University of Alabama? With the America's Warrior Partnership. They did it in conjunction with them. But anyway, you don't have to. You can agree with the VA. Because the VA is awesome. We don't want to offend the VA because, fuck you. Do you think the VA is going to shift on their own? Or do you think it's going to shift because of public pressure? Not necessarily political, too. That's why Dan Crenshaw, dude, this is we the people. The fact that 1,000 veterans had to go to Mexico to save their life is a national fucking tragedy. Well, we need, you can't ruffle feathers. Fuck you. two veterans an hour? It's a disgrace. So maybe I won't get on this panel, but I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. How about that? I know I am being led by spirit. I am leading with my heart and my truth. And if you wanna smile and shake hands and kiss babies, knock yourself out. I guarantee you, folks, I don't have to guarantee you. I saw it. When I stood in front of that jet at the Miramar Air Show for 3 days in the sun, getting my ass kicked, I talked to thousands of people. Oh, no fallen heroes. What's that? Or with our T-shirts we were selling at the booth. Their face, the color ran out of their face. I'm like, yeah, and that number's wrong. Sorry about your old T-shirt. It's 44. They're like, how come I've never heard that? Do you think the VA is going to have a press conference? Sorry, our number 19 or 16 a day from a couple of years ago has been wrong. It's a disgrace. Now you guys know me. I can tone it down and I can put on a coat and tie and stand in a room and smile. But at the end of the day, folks, you know where my heart is. And here, why are we talking about this, Wiz? We're in AR right now. This is a Bobby Axelrod moment. But we're not narcissists, sociopaths focused on money. What am I getting at? If, not if, sorry I said that, God, when the VA, the Department of Defense, the United States of America, follows these recommendations, the companies that we have talked about in AR, Cybin, Compass, MindMed, Field Trip Health, Atai, will fucking explode. Do I feel creepy about talking about making money off of this? No, because if we're leading with saving lives, oh my God, and my stock went up, that's a win-win. Exactly. There's compromise and then there's caving. So, yeah, exactly, Tom. It is. It's like believing economic numbers from China. So, folks, here's where my rant is ending. We can be bullish on all of these names. We've talked about this a couple times. You can get long SIL. It's an ETF. It's got a basket of the names. Or in today's brief, let's talk about Compass. You know, the bigger names in the space. This is right. So Compass, ladies and gentlemen, is on the edge of, I mean, it was a $49 stock at one point. I mean, this is a screaming steal. Now it went from 49 to 11 for a reason, obviously, but most stocks, you know, here's the implosion. Yay. The psychedelic space is not immune to what? Overall market forces. When I was speaking down at the Psychedelic Capital Conference for Benzinga, they all said that. They're like, we're just caught up in everybody else's shit show. Everything, folks, Bitcoin, psychedelics, equities, trade, when everything's moving in tandem, everything's moving in tandem. This is the time, if you don't enjoy these tactical trades, like, holy shit, momentum up, momentum down, I don't know what I'm getting my ass kicked, stop. Now, the only place besides Amazon, the only place I can sit in a jet and fly the speed of light, literally with 5-MeO, out into the future and get bullish are the psychedelics. But we've talked about this, guys. We've talked about this. I have to remind, because I know we have new Full Throttle people in here. The best analogy is 1999. Let's party like it's 1999. There's pets.com, there's Enron, there's Amazon, there's Google. You choose the wrong two, you lose all your money. You choose the right two, you're filthy rich. So in the psychedelic space, there are going to be incredible winners and there's going to be bankruptcies, period. I think I gave you last week the article that Cody was quoted in, where he's like, hey, man, this is the 2021 was the explosive year of psychedelics, full of hope and promise. 2022 is the grown-up year. Companies going away, companies are going to be merging. The battlefield is going to tighten up. It was really cool sitting, in Miami with our director of medicine operations, Nicole, because she's smarter. She's more tuned into this than I am, because I sat there as X. So you can come into our clinic and instead of the psilocybin taking, you don't know how long it's going to take and how long, and it immediately hits and it's a 1 hour thing and you're out and you're in. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I'm writing that down. She's like, that's horrible. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, no. We're losing the spirituality of it, dude. We're losing. I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, this is McDonald's. This is Starbucks. So if you're Gordon Gekko or Mr. Wonderful, who was there, you might like that. You might like the fact that whatever company, I took a bunch of notes and then I was like, you know what? She's right. But I'm torn, guys. I'm a 50 delta on this. Let me explain. If somebody wants to get better, they don't want to be a better football player, they don't want to be a better trader, they want to be a better human being. You don't do medicine work to be better at something. You do medicine work to be better at you. If other shit gets better because of that, yay. But if somebody's like, hey man, all I got is an hour, I'm so busy, I got kids, whatever the excuses are, or not excuses, reasons, and they're like, it would be better if they had something like this, and then the industry provided something like this, and they became a better human, and the world gets better, that's a success. But I understood what Nicole was saying. There's something to be said for lying in a room with 4 other dudes in Mexico and going through, well, I didn't go through hell. I mean, I went through heaven, actually. But doing whatever your individual journey is, there's something to be said for that. So I can't stop. You can't stop. Nicole can't stop the McDonald's, the Starbucks-isation of the industry. Going Gordon Gekko, that provides ample opportunities for stocks to go up. Got it. There's always going to be the mission within. There's always going to be Awaken, although even Awaken down in Costa Rica is starting to turn into, I mean, there are what's the other place called? It's the psychedelic place for the stars. You look at the prices to go heal at the mission within versus like where DiCaprio went. It's disgusting. But guess what? That's where we are. There's psychedelic tourism. There's psychedelic, you can't hold progress, Wiz. I get it. I'm rambling about this because there's so much opportunity in this space, and I don't want to sound like what's his name up the street in Palm Beach, Bernie Madoff, getting people in a Ponzi scheme. I'm warning you right now, there will be absolute failures. There will be bankruptcies in this space. There will be mergers. There will be acquisitions. I'm trying to learn as much about these companies as possible, meeting CEOs at these events. The event out in LA I was supposed to speak at got moved this weekend, got moved to, or next weekend, got moved to March. It's at the Wisdom. So put that on your calendar. If you're in California, if you're a California person, or you're an LA or SoCal person, meet me because I'm running the veterans panel at this one. Down here in South Florida, Google it, Wonderland. Wonderland's coming up in Miami. I can't believe it's been a year. Ponch and Slider went down there. I think, yeah, Nicole did too, but Ponch and Slider went down to Wonderland last year and did some intelligence gathering. This is how you get smart in this space. But let's just do this. I don't need to be smart in this space. Me. And that's not ego talking, that's me talking. You all who have been a member here for at least a year have seen my transition, year and a half, right? My first medicine journey. I'm a completely different human being. Now, just like the disclaimers that I have at the beginning of the webinar, past performance is not, your results might be different, right? This is not for everybody. It's not, I am definitely not Timothy Leary from Harvard. We need to put this in the water. I mean, yeah. So anyway, let's talk trading. So you all know my motto. I don't trade stocks under $10, or I don't trade options on stocks under $10. They are an option, right? So some of these lower price names, what's a tie at? So right now, folks, a tie was $6 a couple months ago, double what it is today. Look at this. The 52-week high is 17. We're at 3. Again, it was at 17 for a reason. Now it's at 3 for a reason. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, if you believe in the strategic outlook of this space, these prices are stupid. If you had a couple grand, $5,000, if you had 10 grand and just made your own little ETF, Compass, Atai, Cybin, MindMed, Field Trip Health is in there too. You can make your own ETF. Buy not even 1,000. Wiz, I don't have 3,000 bucks. Buy 500 shares. Ladies and gentlemen, these are lotto tickets. I'm warning you right now. Some of these will be up hundreds of percent. When, not if, the VA, did you see the DEA yesterday or 2 days ago? The DEA came out with a report that said the founding of our government entity is based on race. What was their exact quote? It was kind of like, we were founded on bad. Thank you, Richard Nixon, war on drugs and everything like that. The Drug Enforcement Administration admitted the other day that they were founded on maybe not so altruistic stuff. Oh, cool. Alberta will be the first province to regulate psychedelics for therapy. I love it. I love it. Canada, our 51st state, leading the way. So, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, let me give you the link to this. I want you to read this. This was his opening remarks or whatever. On your screen right now, if you have a significant other and you're like, hey man, we're going to put 10 grand in the psychedelic space, and she or he says, what's your strategic mindset? Read this. In the next year, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Doblin from MAPS. They believe by the middle of 2023, MDMA will be descheduled. 1985. I remember the guy on Phil Donahue. He was a dick. A Ronald Reagan appointee. A Ronald Reagan appointee scheduled MDMA as a Schedule I drug. Why? Because people were in nightclubs having fun. Really? Yeah, the dude, he reminds me of Dean Wormer from Faber College. Knowledge is good. Dean Wormer, no more fun of any kind. People were having fun. You can't overdose on it. People don't fight. There's no MDMA alcoholic driving, but people are having fun in nightclubs. Yeah, you're mixing that with cocaine. Cocaine's a horror. No, everything's bad. Okay. What about, because in 1985, folks, MDMA was also being used for what? Marriage counseling. Take 2 of these and call me Monday. Or actually, take 2 of these and you're not going to have to call me Monday. It was prescription. So by the middle of this time next year, it's almost the year would almost be over. In 2023, MDMA will be descheduled off of Schedule 1 and will be approved for psychedelic. It's not a psychedelic, for therapy. Daniel Carcillo, who was all over the Miami Tua thing with the head injury, and Wisana Healthcare. MDMA, he's in phase whatever for head trauma, folks. This is life-saving. Be bullish on it. Okay, so I have MindMed. I want to buy, which was this? Oh shit, this is the AR. So I want to buy, I've been waiting. I was going to buy 1,000 shares of Compass. I'm going to buy, I have MindMed. I think Susie's buying Compass, whatever. In her account, I'm going to buy some Compass. I'm going to buy 11,000 bucks worth of this. I'll post it when I do in Afterburner and Hunters, so we can even all ride it together. What's the volume on this thing? Yeah, I mean, if we all decided to buy 1,000 bucks, 1,000 shares of Compass right now, we would move this stock. I guarantee you. We would. Some of you might be doing this right now because that just happened. And we had this little uptick right here. We were doing this. I mean, what's Simon? Matai. Maybe next, you know what I'm going to do? Stop. Or you can buy it right now. Let's do this next week. Let's do this live. I'm going to maybe live next week. We'll buy some stuff live, maybe some Matai. And I'm going to show you how, because this is similar. This is about 49,000. We can move these stocks, folks. MindMed. I guarantee you, and you will get a live demonstration of moving a stock. Atai, Simon, MindMed, FTRP, no, Field T FLTP, whatever, Field Trip Health. I forget what the hell that, I always get that sticker wrong. Or you go to SIL. Yeah, exactly, John. Yeah, we learned that in the Afterburner group, right? Everybody has to agree to do it at the same moment, man. You gotta everybody fire at the same time. It's a trust. It's a trust fall. Yeah, Kathy, I'm just I do that as a demonstration purpose, right? Not as a day trade. I mean, we could do that, Kathy. If we this is what proprietary firms do, folks. If we get more lifetime members in Max Afterburner or the Hunters, and we all decide to meet at 9:35 on Friday morning and buy the shit out of GH Research, we would move it and we could all get out. So very good catch, Kathy. I am long-term bullish on it, but I also would use this as a demonstration of the Max Afterburner group. We're a hedge fund, folks. Ain't nothing illegal with a bunch of Americans getting together and moving a stock. Why'd you do that? We like it, and we like making money. Any other dumb questions? So that's what I'm getting at, okay? So you know what? I'm going to let's save that for next week because I like that. That's a good idea. We'll actually demonstrate that live. And I'm not going to tell you which one it's going to be, so you don't do it early. There you go. So there. All right. So I'm going to say that's a good idea. I'm going to do that next week. Plus, I need to get into my other accounts and move some money around. I like that. That's good. That's good. We're going to do that. All right. So let's get back to this, though, because it's like working in a tactical company. You can't work in a tactical company forever. This is why Ponch, me, back in the day, or Ponch is doing this right now. We do strategic consulting, right? We get here's your strategic objective, here's your operational objectives, your centers of gravity, here's the tactics. Most companies are what? Just like most traders, very tactical. People burn out in tactical companies. Traders burn out in tactical trading environments. This is a very tactical market. So it was Greg or Jeff or whoever yesterday in the Max Afterburner group. He's like, dude, I've been in cash for a majority of the year. The couple sniper shots I've taken, had the losses are just, So step one, stop. Don't do anything. Right? So don't do anything. Stop. Don't do anything. So anyway, we should kind of hover or at least move around today a little bit. But the jobs report tomorrow is going to be nutty, stupid movement. You see, here's the perfect example. This is what we've been doing for the past couple trading days, guys, and it's frustrating because I'm not stepping in front of it. What do? Here's the opening bell. Up. Oh my God, yay, we're all going to implode and die. No, we're not. I guarantee you we're up by 3,800 by the end of the day. You cannot keep this thing down. This is exactly what happened. If anything, if you're taking snipers today, it's a bull put spread right now. I think Tamara over in the Hunters has been doing this. Look, open. Oh, we're all going to die. Yay. No, we're not. I'm going to open up this chart even more. The trend is your friend right now, folks. Look at these. All of these are melt ups, even after that last one. Look, anybody see a trend here? Is that going to happen today? It could. This is a little engine that could right now. Yeah. These are all for the last 3 trading days. It's been but remember, Uncle Wiz said what? These short squeezes have if it's a violent 1, 2, 3 day, if it's a boiled frog, kind of the overall trend is that. I call this one a boiled frog. This could be a full 5-day short squeeze, man, and then a slam. Look at the last time we did this. 1, 2, 3, 4, violent, and then death and destruction. 1, 2, 3.5. We're at 3.5 hover right now with a massive jobs report going on tomorrow. If we get blowout jobs tomorrow, I think we implode. If we get awful jobs, you ready for this? If we get an awful jobs report, I think we go up. That makes sense to you, right? It better. Bad jobs report, bad for the economy. Market is not the economy. I listened to you as you open this brief, Wiz, but a bad jobs report is exactly what Jerome Powell wants to see. And guess what? Since we haven't heard any pain or any kind of like bad recently, I think it is going to be a bad one. And they're just not saying anything. They're letting this one play out, right? Because in the past, with any sort of good macroeconomic data that was about to come out, what did they do? They were usually running around saying shit like, we're going to be serious. This is interesting. This quiet jobs tomorrow, man. Usually I've heard shit going on. This has been a quiet one, so I think it is going to be a bad. And they're going to not. You ain't going to see Joe Biden or Jean-Claude Van Damme giving a press conference tomorrow about a strong jobs market. If tomorrow's bad, so we got OPEC cutting in front of the election 5 weeks to go. And we might have a bad jobs number. This is the last, November, when's the election, 6th, 7th? Will there be a jobs report right in front of the election? Everybody remember Barack Hussein Obama's jobs number? Yeah, so we will get one more jobs number in front of the election. So Jerome Powell wants bad jobs numbers, but the Democrats don't. This is it. We are in interesting times here, guys. Wow. This is fun. I enjoy this stuff, man. I like it. So today, if I am going to sniper, I actually got to pull the jet into the hangar. So I don't know if I'm going to be snipering too much. This is interesting, man. And every day this week where I've kind of seen this implosion bounce, I'm like, oh, see, it's going to do that. It hasn't. So do the exact opposite of what I do that I've been doing this week, and you should be good to go. Weekly debrief as far as Amazon, you got to hold what you got, man. If we get a bad jobs report by tomorrow, it's giddy up. This thing will sneeze and it'll be down here. I guarantee you. Yesterday it was looking pretty solid. It was 118-ish, but good jobs report, right? I was inverted. I got that wrong. We talked the other day about maybe putting on a repair trade. Watch that replay because I talked about repair trade. I talked about legging into potentially an iron condor on Amazon to offset your risk. There was a bunch of ways this week that you could have. We talked about dogfighting Amazon, getting out of that the short 118 calls and letting the 119s run up to 122. So you could have taken a losing bear call spread, got into a gunfight with it, and made it very profitable. So hopefully everybody got some learning on the solo Amazon trade this week. Okay, I'm glad that happened because I haven't given a good dogfight brief in a while. So okay. So I was going to do buy a bunch of psychs, but I'm glad I thought about it. Let's save that for a week from now, and we will demonstrate the power of this fully operational Death Star of being able to move stocks in our Max Afterburner group and our Hunters group. Back in the day, it was like we didn't. Right now we have 175 in this mini hedge fund, and usually plus or minus 70-ish, 65 to 75 in here. So both very, very active. 46, definitely in the 40s on. Obviously, these are weekends. I post shit in here in the weekends, but during an active trading day, you got 45 people in here, and we got a ton of folks in here. We can move markets here in these groups, and that's what we're going to plan on doing. So, all right, guys, good stuff. I had a great time this week. A little frustrating. I had some wins. I had some losses. I don't like meh. So today, I don't know. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to go get a cheesesteak. I'm going to come back and kind of feel the market out, see if I'm going to snipe. But here we go, man. There's your pop. It's not a dead bet bounce. Bull put spread time, man. This thing, I feel 3,800. Look at that. Look at that gap move right there up to, I do a bull put spread, 35.50, 35.45, or 37.50. Let's see if there's any premium in there. This isn't my live account though, so 37.50 is kind of the Mason-Dixon line. That's perfect right there. That's good premium. If I was going to snipe right now, it would be this. Sell 15 of the 37.50 puts, and I'd buy the 37.45s. And it's running away from me already. Look at that. Something's moving. Yeah. That's a strong move. So 37.50, 37.45 bull put spread. That's the snipe I would do right now. Good. Let me just look at my mastermind group, see if I got any good intel to pass. Nope. Yeah. Holding pattern for the Fed. Duh. That's not breaking intelligence. All right, guys. Good stuff. I had a good week. You got Bart if you're in Tomcat charts tomorrow morning. And there's a pop-up ad going. I'll get this replay here posted shortly. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. And I'll see you in Solo Amazon from San Francisco. Thank you, the hill. All right, guys. God bless and have a good weekend. Fights on. Love you.